Hey guys, welcome to another one of these filling up a sketchbook page video. Although as you can see, I am not actually using the same sketchbook that I had been using in the past two videos. I'm just using a blank sheet of watercolor paper, 90-pound watercolor paper, because that sketchbook that I was using has actually almost been filled up. And I kind of wanted to try something new where I was able to kind of move the page around a little bit more because that sketchbook is just so heavy in terms of the pages used that I found that it would be uncomfortable if I'm trying to film something where I'm drawing a bunch of things. So this video is also different because I am just drawing one character a bunch of times. I can't remember how many times I drew him, but this character is an old character of mine that came up in one of my older comics called Spice Cake. His name is Kevin, and he is a purple sarcastic cat. He has a very simple design, and I was actually sketching a special sticker set for a patron of mine that was fast food themed, and I just remembered him, and I kind of drew him eating like a burger and a hot dog, and I thought, oh, I kind of want to do this as like one of those freehand videos where I just draw something and I just show you it in real time. So you will be watching this very long video of me drawing Kevin multiple times, like I said, and I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing this. I don't think I'll be talking throughout the whole video, but I did find an old Instagram post that I was meaning to look back on because I asked people to ask me a bunch of questions. So this is going to be turn into also a Q&A video while I talk about the video that I'm doing, which is me drawing Kevin a bunch of times. So I hope you are ready because I will be talking a lot. But before I dive deep into those questions that I received quite a while back, a bunch of people asked me stuff and I said I would be putting it in a Q&A video, but I never did because I just felt like the video had to be good enough for me to answer these questions. I don't know, just some sort of weird mentality that I had. I thought I would be able to talk a lot more about the drawings in this video when I was drawing this, but I find now that as I'm sitting down and trying to do this commentary, I kind of don't have much to say because a lot of the drawings and a lot of the poses that I put Kevin in are a lot of the favorite poses that I like to draw my characters in, just mundane, everyday things, lying down, eating a burger, eating some cereal, just simple everyday things. I really like drawing those things, especially in a character that has such a simple design and I can, kind of mold him in different positions as I want to. It's just I had a lot of fun drawing this, so yeah, I hope you enjoy watching it. He has a very simple design, so I know it's not as complicated. I don't know if you guys would like that less or not, but I do hope you enjoy at least a little bit of it. So yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about. The first few drawings are very obviously a warm-up. I had a little bit, I think by the time I get to the 5th or the 6th drawing, I am sufficiently warmed up and I'm a little bit more loose with the drawings that I'm doing. It's just coming up with the poses are hard, even though they are everyday things. I just found myself sometimes after I've drawn one drawing of Kevin, I'm like, what should I pose him in next? And then I'd look up and I have like this little kind of board on my drafting table where I have a bunch of drawings that I've posted from different artists, like postcards and prints that I received, and I kind of pulled from that. Like there's a person blowing a trumpet in one of them, so I was like, I will make Kevin blow on a trumpet. Or there's a person reading, I will make him read. So it was just a lot of fun. I was kind of really thinking of a video I could do because I haven't posted an art video in a while, and I know I said I wouldn't pressure myself into making art videos, but I really wanted to have one out because I was kind of getting bored of the vlogs, so that is why. Anyway, let's do the Q&A questions now. Okay, so I got quite a bit of questions, and I told people they can ask me art-related questions or non-art related questions, so if some of the questions sound quite personal, that is why. So this first question, how was your transition between styles? Did you lose followers? I actually did not observe the follower count when I was trying to play around with my styles. I think my obvious style switch happened maybe about a year or two ago or more than that. I did not focus on the art, on the followers on my social media accounts when I was doing that, because I was very engrossed. Is it engrossed or yeah, I was very focused on figuring out what I wanted to do with my art. And if I thought to myself, if I kind of looked at the follower thing and I, paid attention to that as well, I think I would have kind of had like an art breakdown. So I actually don't know if I lost followers or not at that time. So I can't really answer this question because I really tried not to care about that when I was doing it. I focused on my art and what I wanted to, where I wanted it to be and what I wanted to do. So that goes as, I guess that's kind of like a tip as well. If you feel like you are trying to find your style or trying to find how you can make your art work for you and find the thing that you want, try not to focus on the followers and the social media aspect of it, because it can be very, very hard to be very hard to balance that mentally, because you're like trying to experiment with new things and you find, and for some reason your follower count goes down by like a couple people, that will just like really dishearten and overwhelm you. So anyway, I answered this question for much longer than I should. So at the end of the day, I don't know if I did lose followers or not. I do not know. Next question. How do you feel looking back at your old art? Are you happy with your work? I try not to think about my old stuff. I do look back at my old art from time to time, and I kind of see the changes and the progress that I've made, and I am proud of myself. I wouldn't necessarily call myself happy with it, because I can always find things that I can better with my artwork, especially in the past. I could see, certain anatomy things that I could have worked on that, or like flow and stiffness. So I look back on it and I kind of see it as like, oh, this was a change. I don't know if I'm happy about it. I guess I'm saying I'm not happy about it because I knew I could be better. Does that make sense? Do you feel bad sometimes when you stop to think about life? Yes, of course. Everybody who stops to think about their life feel bad sometimes. I don't know what context you're asking this in, but I'm kind of approaching it in a way where you think about your life, and sometimes maybe you're in a good place, but you feel guilty about the people who are not in a good place. Does that make you feel bad? So I don't know what context this is coming from, but of course, if you think about something for long enough, you will definitely find some negative things to it. So I guess yes. Next question. Do you have any tips for artists that are also trying to stay fit? Have another job. If you have another job, especially a job where you have to like leave the house, like not a home job, then that will help you stay fit, because you are actually getting up off from your desk and you are walking around. And I guess that's the only tip. I guess have another job. I know some people will not be able to do that, but it's just another, I feel like a lot of artists do have other jobs just to help with their bills and bills and such, but that's my tip. Get another job, or like do some volunteer work, so you will get up off of your butt, away from your desk, and actually go outside and do stuff, so you can try and stay fit. Next question. How do you stay productive and fit in time to be with your how do you stay productive and fit in time to be with your boyfriend plus friends? I think I've mentioned this before in a vlog, but in order to balance that stuff, in order to balance my productivity in terms of my art stuff and family and friends, I say yes to every single invite I get socially. Obviously there might be some drawbacks to certain things, like maybe I can't make it because I'm sick or something like that, but whenever I get an invite socially, I always try to say yes. Obviously there's restrictions, like if somebody invites you to go to something you don't want to go to, then say no. But when my boyfriend says, hey, let's have dinner together, or let's make something together and then we'll have dinner together, or hey, let's go do grocery shopping, or if a friend tells me she wants to try this new pancake place in downtown Toronto, let's go sometime, I will say yes. So I feel like that's the way I can stay socially connected and productive with my art, is when I'm not being invited to these things, I'm doing my art. The only drawback to that is I don't really invite people to do things because I'm always really busy. So that's the only thing. And I don't have time to make new friends or meet new people because I'm just trying to balance my productivity for my art stuff and my immediate, relationships. So that's how I do it. How long did it take you to gain a following on Patreon? My Patreon following is very humble. I don't really have like so many Patreon followers or Patreon subscribers, but in terms of just like starting a Patreon and actually making more than $10, it took me about a year or two, and that's in conjunction with trying to build up my follower count on my other social media as well, because that's how people find me, is they find me through my Instagram and my Twitter and my YouTube. And if they connect with my work, then they will consider pledging to me on Patreon. So it works in conjunction with a lot of different things, not just Patreon itself. And it took me about a year or two, like I said. Any artist or artists you looked up to when you were starting out? I have so many artists that I looked up to. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but for sure, this might sound cliche, but Hayao Miyazaki was one of my very early inspirations. I really enjoyed all of his movies when I watched Spirited Away when I was in elementary school. That was really inspiring for me, and that kind of built up my love for story and just incorporating that into my work. So growing up, I always had him in my mind. More contemporary or more modern inspirations for me include like Carrascoet. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they are an artist and an author duo, I think from France, and I really enjoy all their comic books and their work, so I like them. And Jeremy Serezi is one of them as well. Junji Ito is one of them. But when I was starting out, I started out when I was really young, so Disney was one of them, I guess, one of the inspirations. Early like 90s and 80s anime also. So it's really hard because I've been drawing for so long that it's hard for me to pinpoint who I actually looked up to. But yeah, Disney and all that kind of stuff. Sorry if you've gotten this already, but how do you manage to stay motivated every day? I'm the kind of person who wants to be busy all the time. If I'm not doing something, I feel really unsettled. So even when I'm watching Netflix or something, I really want to, like, I do my nails or something like that. I just am a busy bee. I just really like to do things. There are days or there are weeks. I remember there was like 3 months where I just really didn't do anything. But I just really like being busy, and 2, I want my art to get better, and I want to learn new things and explore new things, and that motivates me, I guess, just wanting to get better and explore. So also I want to be able to make a living from art, even just a little bit, so that is also motivating me. I want to get to that point. I don't know when I'll get to that point. I'm definitely not there yet, but that's another motivation for me. Next question. What is your background in art? Self-taught? Art school? I did go to art school. I decided to go back to like an art school. It was like a 1.5-year program at a college. I went back to that when I was 27 years old. I honestly didn't really learn much other than meeting other people with the same likes as me and also meeting professionals in the field. But in terms of learning stuff, I just didn't learn too much. I've been drawing all my life. I don't know if that's self-taught or not. I guess it could be. I taught myself how to draw, an anime eye when I was in like grade 3 or 4. So you could also look at it like my background in art would be anime. That's how I started drawing. I drew a lot of anime and then it transitioned later on. So I hope that kind of answers the question. What's your zodiac sign? Do you read your horoscope? I love your art style. Thank you. I am a Taurus. I do not read my horoscope unless I happen to pick up the paper on my way to work and I read the back with the horoscopes. But yeah, I am a Taurus. Who is older between you and your brothers? I am the oldest. I come from a family of 5, so there's 3 of us. My 2 brothers who are younger and me. I'm the oldest. My second brother is 5 years apart from me, and my younger brother is 7 years apart. So I am the oldest child. What has been your favorite comic of all the ones you've made so far? My most favorite has been Carmen. Carmen is just, I think it was like one of the early ones when I went into this like drawing a comic every month for a year challenge that I started. Carmen is one of my favorites. You can buy Carmen, by the way, on my store if you are interested. I have some copies of Carmen for sale, so if you want to check that out. Next question. Let's see. Do you have any tips on growing your audience on YouTube? No. I don't know. I've kind of approached YouTube like a hobby. That's how I've been approaching it. So kind of building up my audience has been like a side focus of mine. It's not my main focus. My main focus is to enjoy the process of YouTube and to enjoy things that I post on YouTube and to enjoy just the whole thing. I haven't switched to the focus of trying to grow my audience. But if you are asking me for tips, from my perspective, I find that if you post something you like, you had a lot of fun doing with on YouTube, and that's what you do, you just approach it in terms of fun, and your personality shows and your passion show, I think that will help you grow your audience because they can see that you really love what you're doing and you like to share and you want to teach and you want to learn. Just do the things that you want on YouTube. Not evil things, obviously not evil things, but I think that's one of my biggest tips, because I remember maybe earlier on YouTube when I was starting, I was like, I want to be able to be a YouTuber. I want to do that. So I would like post just whatever I can, and I kind of burnt out with that, and I just didn't really enjoy YouTube at all, so I stopped posting for a while. But yeah, so that is my biggest tip. So this one is a more personal question. Without disclosing details, how did you find forgiveness or find resolution when you and your partner went through a hard time a while back? I have a hard time letting go of offenses. So if you've been following me for a while, my boyfriend and I broke up maybe about less than a year ago now, and we're back together and we're very happy together. It was very hard. We did a lot of talking. The main thing is to be open and honest with each other. So I had a hard time being kind of open with my feelings and being honest about what I wanted, because I was kind of ashamed of what I wanted, and he just didn't know that. And so there was a lot of clashing there. So if you are open and if you are honest and you talk about all the things that bother you about whatever, there has to be communication. And if you don't agree about something, it's either you work together on it, or and if you can't find resolution, you just have to move on. We happen to be able to find like resolution together, and we talked for so long. There was a lot of talking involved. I'm not the kind of person who does communication very well in terms of like more personal and heavier things, so that really challenged me. But we both found forgiveness by just talking everything out and putting everything on the table. So that's how it was. Okay, next question. What music do you like to listen to? I listen to a lot of things. I mostly listen to pop, and yeah, I mostly listen to pop, I guess. I like a lot of like R&B ballads, but those are really kind of back, like they're not as popular anymore. Next question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5 years, I see myself trying to do the same thing and hustling to get some sort of art career and working another job as well. That's where I see myself in 5 years. Hopefully in a bigger place too. like a bigger house or a bigger apartment, something like that. What was the weirdest dream you've ever had? The weirdest dream I've ever had, I guess, don't you think all dreams are weird though? I've had a couple dreams where dinosaurs have been kind of chasing me. I guess that's pretty weird. Next question. What was your dream job as a teenager? My dream job as a teenager was an office job, and I eventually got an office job. Yep. But before that, a real practical job was an office job for me, but my dream job was like an artist. So that's it. So those are all the questions that I received from this Q&A that I posted a while back on Instagram. I feel like I had a bunch more questions on YouTube, but I cannot find those for the life of me. So maybe next time, if I do another video like this and you'd like to leave me some questions in the comment section down below, I will remember it is from this video and I can pull those out. But those are all the questions, and I hope that was fun or interesting for you. Let's get back to the drawing. So here I am drawing Kevin blowing a trumpet for some reason. I thought it turned out okay, actually. He's kind of looking off into space, which is sort of weird. The one where he's working on a laptop, I wanted him to be like seated on a beanbag, but the way the laptop had already been situated, I didn't want to white it out completely, so I just made up this kind of weird desk couch thing situation. Maybe he's at like a modern looking cafe or something. Oh, and this drawing that I'm doing right now where he is he kind of has a gleeful look on his face. I really enjoyed that, so I did that again in another drawing, which is right after this one. So this might be like one of my favorite faces for him. It looks really kind of evil and just gleeful, so I really enjoyed that. I hate those combination of words. I edited this video a little bit differently. I wanted to maintain the real-time aspect of it, but I also edited out a lot of the pauses in my drawings. I tend to pause and kind of think before I start the new doodle, so I got rid of those. There was a lot of that, and it cut down the time by about 10 or 12 minutes. So I take some time, I guess, thinking about what to do next. So this is the other face, which turned out a little bit more, smiley than the other one. His teeth kind of disappear in them, but that's okay. I think it looks really great still. So I think that's all I can really talk about. I don't really have anything else to say. I will leave you guys a little bit to music so you can watch me draw a bunch of Kevins, and then I will come back towards the end of the video and check back. here is where we come towards the end of the video. I drew, I think, 2 more doodles, and then the last one where it was looked a little bit messed up. I wanted to fill in the page, but I guess it just didn't work out if I filled up every single space, just because you wouldn't be able to appreciate Kevin in all his glory in the full page. I mean, I can separate each drawing out on Photoshop and we'll do whatever with them, but it kind of looks nice with a bit of space in between every drawing. Okay, this is the one. Like, look at his head, it looks really messed up. So I was like, okay, that's the draw, it's over now. Let's stop and you know, edit this video. Yeah, so I did use a bunch of whiteout for a lot of the drawings. I cannot avoid that, but I had a lot of fun doing this page of just my old character, Kevin the cat. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I had tons of fun, like I said, and I would recommend you guys do something like this, especially with a very simple, you know, character design. It's really fun to do, just fill up a page. I will be showing each and every drawing now, so I hope you enjoy all of them. Let me know what is your favorite one, what favorite pose you like. I really like the one of him on the top of the dinosaur and also at the cafe. I also like the one of him like he just bought a bunch of furniture and he's getting ready to make it. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna end by showing you guys who my patrons are, my lovely patrons. Thank you so much for supporting my work, and if you enjoyed this video, let me know. And I have some stuff on my store if you're interested in that. I just released a new art book and I have a bunch of comics on there if you're interested. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the vlog or in the next art video. Bye!